15 forgotten vegetables that grow like weeds, super fast, easy, and almost no care. If you've ever dreamed of growing your own fresh food but felt overwhelmed by complicated gardening advice, you're in the right place. Today I'm sharing 15 forgotten vegetables that practically grow like weeds, sprouting fast, needing almost no care, and giving you more food with less fuss. Whether you're a total beginner or just want a low-maintenance garden that keeps feeding you delicious greens and crisp veggies, this video will show you plants that are easy to start, quick to harvest, and incredibly rewarding to grow. Let's start. One, radishes, quick roots that sprout everywhere. Radishes are one of those vegetables that seem to pop up almost on their own, sprouting fast from tiny seeds into crunchy roots in just a few weeks. Because they don't need much space or special care, you can sprinkle radish seeds in loose soil and watch them grow with almost no fuss at all. Even if you forget to water for a day or two, radishes shrug off the small stuff and keep pushing up strong green tops and crisp roots beneath. Their ease of growing and ability to thrive in many soils makes radishes feel a lot like nature's own weed crop you can eat. Harvesting radishes is its own joy because these roots can go from seed to dinner plate in under a month. If you want maximum results, just give them a bit of sun and lightly loose soil. They'll take care of themselves most of the way. Two, lettuce, leafy greens that come back when you cut them. Lettuce might seem ordinary, but it grows so easily that a single seed sowed in cool soil will soon give you fresh leaves for salads all season long. Lettuce can handle a bit of shade, and when you harvest just the outer leaves, it often keeps growing new ones for a second round. Many gardeners love lettuce because it doesn't demand perfect conditions, some sun, regular watering, and it'll reward you with tender green leaves again and again. That's why lettuce feels almost like a self-renewing crop in the garden, especially if you plant successive rows every few weeks. You can sprinkle seeds directly where you want them to grow, and soon you'll see lush greens popping up everywhere. Three, arugula, peppery leaves. That don't need fancy care. Arugula is a leafy green that seems to sprout overnight and flourish without much babysitting from you. It is a cool season vegetable that germinates fast in well-draining soil and can handle light sun or partial shade with grace. What makes arugula feel like a grow-like weed plant is how simple it is to sow and how forgiving it is if you forget a watering or two. With minimal fuss, you get spicy, tender leaves perfect for salads, pesto, or sandwiches. Sow more seeds every couple of weeks, and you'll have a near-continuous supply over spring and fall without stress. Its quick maturity and ability to thrive in varied conditions make arugula one of those forgotten veggies that beginners love. Four, garden cress. Tiny seeds, fast growth, big flavor. Garden cress might be small, but don't let its size fool you. This peppery green grows incredibly fast from tiny seeds and hardly needs anything to thrive. Literally, you can sprout garden cress on damp paper, cotton, or soil, and it'll grow within days, making it a perfect pick-up-and-go vegetable. In many places around the world, garden cress seeds are scattered in moist soil and left to do their thing, popping up everywhere like a generous little green. They're often ready to harvest in under 2 weeks, so you can enjoy fresh, crisp leaves with very little gardening effort. Because garden cress grows quickly with minimal water and care, it feels almost like a wild edible that simply wants to be part of your garden. Five, mustard greens. Bold leaves that spread fast. Mustard greens are a classic easy-grow vegetable that flourishes with little attention, especially in cooler weather. Their seeds sprout quickly, and once established, these greens push up lush leaves that can practically take over sunny garden patches. Even if you don't water regularly, mustard greens will often keep growing as long as the soil stays just a bit moist, making them feel like a vegetable that grows almost like a weed. Their bold, peppery leaves are delicious in stir-fries, salads, or soups, so you get fast growth and big flavor. Planting a handful of mustard seeds in loose soil is all you really need to get started, and soon you'll see vigorous greens spreading with minimal fuss. Six, bok choy. Tender Asian greens that shoot up fast. Bok choy is one of those vegetables that greets you with crisp, juicy leaves just weeks after you planted seeds in loose, nutrient-rich soil. Because it grows so quickly and doesn't need much fuss beyond regular watering and a sunny spot, bok choy feels like a generous green that wants to thrive with minimal care. This cool season brassica loves temperate weather and can be sown outdoors in early spring or again as the heat starts to fade, giving you fresh harvests before summer's end. At harvest time, you can snip the outer leaves first and let the plant keep growing, turning that one sowing into ongoing tender stems and greens you'll love cooking. Once bok choy gets going, its broad leaves and pale, crunchy stems almost seem to explode up out of the ground with little effort from you. Seven, spinach. Lush, cool greens that seem to pop up overnight. Spinach is a leafy powerhouse that germinates quickly and fills your garden with juicy, tender greens in just a few weeks, especially during cool weather. Because it thrives with just basic soil, light sun, and steady moisture. Spinach seems to appear everywhere you plant it, making it feel almost like a happy green weed you can eat. What is even better is how easy it is to harvest from spinach. Just clip the outer leaves and let the center continue to grow, giving you multiple harvests from one plant. You can plant it again and again as the season cools, turning every bed corner into a lush patch of wholesome greens without heavy gardening effort. Spinach's rich, deep green leaves are packed with iron and vitamins, but they don't require rich compost or careful pruning to succeed. Once you get the first seedlings up, you'll find yourself reaching for fresh spinach almost as often as you do weeds in a backyard. But this crop pays you back with delicious, healthful greens. Eight, bush beans pods that produce like wild scramblers. Bush beans are classic garden staples because they sprout from seed fast and soon fill the vines with tender pods ready for picking, often with barely any extra help from you. These beans don't need tall trellises. They stay compact and turn every sunny patch of soil into a production line of crisp, sweet beans once they've planted their roots. Unlike slower vegetables that sit around waiting to mature, bush beans push up sturdy stems and blossom shortly after germination, giving you steady harvests all season long. Once they start producing, it feels like they've decided to take over your garden in the best way possible, by giving you bowl after bowl of fresh beans with almost no fuss. All you really need to do to encourage these generous plants is give them a bit of sun. even soil moisture, and room to spread a little as they like. 9. Cucumbers. Juicy vines that always seem to multiply. Cucumbers are nature's gift for lazy gardeners. Plant a few seeds in warm soil, keep them watered, and suddenly a tangle of vines is producing cool, refreshing fruit like it has a life of its own. These thirsty climbers spread out across the ground or up a support with such vigor that in a few weeks you'll be wondering how they got so big so fast. What is amazing about cucumbers is how little attention they need once they've rooted. Give them consistent water, sunshine, and a little space to grow, and they will reward you with juicy picks throughout the season. Their vines shoot out tendrils and leaves that shade the soil, keep weeds down, and make your garden look lush without much work from you. Because cucumbers grow so prolifically and quickly, even beginner gardeners find themselves harvesting more than they can eat, freezing extras, or making jars of pickles for later. 10. Sugar snap peas, sweet pods. That seemed to appear by magic. Sugar snap peas are one of gardening's easiest surprises. You sow their seeds in cool soil, and before you know it, bright green vines are dotted with sweet, crisp pods. These cheerful plants don't demand perfect conditions, and if you give them a simple trellis or stick for climbing, they'll happily fill it with fresh peas for you to pick straight into your salad bowl. Sugar snap peas thrive in cooler seasons and will often show you those first tiny pods faster than many other veggies, almost like they've figured out a shortcut to pleasure. Once they start producing, you can check every other day and find new harvests waiting, little gifts from a plant that is about as fuss-free as they come. Their sweet, juicy pods are delicious eaten raw or lightly cooked, and because sugar snap peas grow so eagerly from seed, they make great early garden champions. 11. Carrots, sweet roots, that reward you fast. Carrots are classic root vegetables that grow quickly from seed and start pushing little orange roots up from the soil in a surprisingly short time, making them feel like a garden success story. These roots need loose, crumbly soil so their long shapes can fill out easily, but once planted they mostly just grow on their own with regular watering. You don't have to babysit carrots closely. Give them sun, water, and free draining soil, and they'll steadily thicken underground until you're ready to pull a tasty, crunchy harvest. Because carrots can be planted in succession every few weeks, it's easy to keep a continuous supply growing without much fuss. Best of all, carrots are versatile in the kitchen whether roasted, steamed, or eaten fresh, and many gardens seem to just want to produce them year after year with basic care. That natural eagerness to grow makes carrots feel almost like a volunteer crop you'd be happy to see popping up everywhere. 12. Zucchini, prolific summer squash. That takes over. Zucchini plants are famous for being one of the most generous summer squashes, sprouting big leaves and abundant fruits with very little care once established in warm soil. Give them a sunny spot, regular water, and good air circulation, and soon you'll all have vines that seem to burst with tender green or yellow zucchini ready for harvest. Even a single zucchini plant can surprise you with more fruits than you expect, sometimes feeling like a wild crop taking over your garden in the best way possible. That's why gardeners love growing zucchini. Plant a seed or two and come back weeks later to find baskets full, without having done much more than water and pick. Zucchini is delicious sautéed, grilled, baked into bread, or spiralized into noodles. And its high yield means you get lots of food from minimal effort. This combination of ease and abundance makes zucchini feel almost like a vegetable that gives back more than you put in. 13. Beets, dual harvest and effortless growth. Beets are one of those easy veggies that give you twice the value: sweet, colorful roots you can cook and tender leafy greens you can eat raw or sautéed. These hardy roots grow well in many soils and don't demand perfect attention, seeming almost unfazed if you're a beginner gardener learning as you go. Plant beet seeds directly in the garden bed, and before long you will see little greens pushing up through the soil, followed by vibrant roots building delicious sweetness underground. Their dual harvest means you get more to enjoy from just a few plants, and gardens with beets often grow so happily they feel like they're thriving on their own. Beets also come in a stunning range of colors from deep ruby to golden yellow, which makes your garden look lively as they grow. (14) Green onions, mild onions ready in weeks. Green onions, also known as scallions, are some of the simplest edibles to grow. Plant seeds or even leftover root ends from store onions and soon I'll be clipping fresh, crunchy stems for soups and salads. These onions grow quickly in loose soil with sun and water, and they keep producing more tender shoots as you harvest. What's great about green onions is how easy they are to grow in small spaces, from garden beds to balcony pots, making them perfect for beginners. With minimal effort, you'll find yourself snipping fresh green stalks over and over again, almost as if the plants are popping up like weeds you actually want to eat. Green onions also tolerate a range of growing conditions, so even if you forget to water or it gets a bit cloudy, they keep pushing up flavorful stems. (15) Peas, sweet pods that climb with little fuss. Peas, especially snap and snow varieties, are cool season climbers that sprout fast in temperate soil and quickly fill trellises with sweet pods you can pick straight into your salad bowl. They don't need a lot of fuss, just a simple support to climb and regular watering to keep the soil moist, and soon you will be picking pods like they grew all by themselves. Because peas thrive in cool weather and can be sown early in the season, they often feel like a gift from the earth when those first sweet pods appear. Their cheerful vines and crisp pods make them fun to grow, and kids love picking peas right from the plant. Once mature, pea plants can keep producing for weeks, rewarding you with a steady harvest that feels almost effortless.